As a child, based on my condition, I was told I could never run. It's just hard to run. Professionals and specialists tell us a lot of things that can only serve to limit us. But what they don't necessarily account for is our determination. I've run 20-something marathons, 100-something half marathons, and countless 5Ks and 10Ks in more than 90 countries around the world. The doctors were wrong. Every time they tried to write me off, they simply wrote my own story. Throughout my travels around the world, I realized I wasn't alone. I'm running across the globe in search for others that have the audacity to break down perceived limits and show others where greatness comes from, beyond limits.
Transavia 5133, after Charlie Michael heading 200.
Our journey together is going to take us all over the world.
Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
And the first stop on this worldwide adventure, known as one of the happiest places on earth. That may be hard to prove scientifically, but once you've been there, it's also very hard to deny.
I'm unbelievably excited and inspired to be here. Show me what it is to really live that Pura Vida lifestyle that I've been hearing about.
Amazing.
I'm Stephen Price, and I'm here with my trusty cameraman. We have 4 very inspirational stories about people who keep on keeping on. Here in Costa Rica, we're hoping to find, I'm certain we'll find, some highly inspirational people. So let's do this. They're going to show us what it's like to push forward when times are tough and times of controversy. And what better way to inspire others by finding truly inspirational people than sharing those stories with the world.
Mr. Stephen Price. How are you?
Fantastic.
Excellent.
So we are on our way to Alajuita. If I'm saying that right, I'm probably not saying that right. Alajuita.
We're just defending, the internet. It's fine.
Driving through the jungle and the mountains, we're on our way to meet Mario. I'm excited. Let's go see them.
Pura vida.
Mario was just 2 years old when he became severely ill with polio, having very little use of his legs. Mario decided that his limitation wouldn't be a deciding factor for his life, but the catalyst for living it.
Muy importante en mi vida los éxitos.
The success I have achieved in my life has been very important to me. Playing sports and racing is my life and my health.
Bueno, primero que nada,
I wanted to show myself that I can. That's why I chose sports and racing. Also, to motivate people, that we all have the ability to get ahead.
Despite having an excuse that you can even imagine in most parts of the world, he has competed in over 50 national and international marathons. This guy was so happy. He was so genuinely full of life. If you ever meet Mario, you'll know that he's one of the happiest people you'll ever meet. He's got this constant and infectious smile, and his catchphrase, Pura Vida.
pura vida.
Mr. Price, tell me what's really cool. The direct translation is pure life, but in Costa Rica, it means so much more. It means hello, it means goodbye, it means everything's gonna be just fine. And even on their worst day, they'll look at you, they'll smile, and they'll say, Pura Vida. And this sums up Mario perfectly.
And when they're applauding,
Y cuando está uno y que le dicen, go, 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 vamos, vamos, se puede.
that fills me like nothing else.
Si no puede, se queda y no puede.
The mind is powerful. If we say we can't, it stays there. But if in your mind you say, yes, I can, you'll succeed.
And here I am concerned about how I look running with a limp. We really have so much to be grateful for. After sharing inspirational stories, pictures, and medals, it was soon time to get back on the road.
I'm feeling absolutely inspired, absolutely fantastic. That guy fired me up. I wanted to put on my running shoes right there and then and get out the door.
I'm sure if you're like me, you could have spent hours with Mario. But don't worry, we'll be seeing him again shortly.
Where are we headed right now?
For a fender bender if I don't slow down.
Days would go by and we still couldn't get enough of this beautiful country. Every new turn led to what looked like a desktop background. You've got a 6-foot lizard on the street here. That would be in some sort of exhibit back home. From meeting wonderful people to wondering how mint lemonade hadn't made its way to North America yet.
Left is sloth
Oh, okay, that's
and
doable.
a puma.
Oh, that's less ideal.
It was becoming an impossible task not to fall in love with Costa Rica. We woke up to the sound of rain in San Isidro.
Hola Claudia, llegamos. Hay mucha lluvia.
We didn't know it yet, but it was about to become very difficult to justify our lavish lifestyle, one that we've become so accustomed to back home. And it wasn't just our standard living that was going to bring us into humility. It was how genuinely happy certain people seemed to be without it. It was time to meet a wonderful woman named Claudia.
My name is Claudia. I live in Pérez de León.
Thank you for having us here, inviting us into your home. We greatly appreciate that. I really mean that.
It was a shining example of how to face difficulty with nothing more than a smile.
When you were young, before your accidents, you were very active.
I like to hike, ride my bicycle, swim, and dancing.
You come into their home and you be clueless as to the tragedy that struck multiple times upon this family. If you never asked, she wouldn't tell you.
My first accident was when I was 15 years old. I was on my way to school. The car that had to stop signaled me to cross, but that same car ran me over when I was walking in front of them.
The car ran over my leg. I was bedridden for 3 years.
There's never a perfect time for a tragedy like this, but this woman and her family were already financially strained.
It's very difficult. I was very poor because my mother is sick. She has cancer.
Because of this, caregiving for her younger nephew and niece, one of whom was also diagnosed with cancer themselves.
I listen my mother cry. It's very difficult. Ella no quería dejarnos.
And then there was another accident. At every turn, Claudia has been faced with adversity, and quite frankly, just terrible luck.
When I had that second accident, I was already walking with a cane. I had a boyfriend who took me on a motorcycle.
I broke my femur and my hip. I heard the bones break.
Truly, this incredible person would be justified in taking it just a little bit easy, even playing the victim. But for Claudia, this incredible woman turned her tragedy into her triumph. So I had to ask her,
How did you find the strength to carry on?
My mother taught me to be strong. Ella decía que no era permitido que nosotros tuviéramos depresión porque la depresión era del diablo, decía.
Eventually, Claudia's mother did pass, but she left a legacy and a beautiful message.
I wanted to be a positive example. I decided to start my own company. The name is Creaciones Claudia. It's named after my mother.
From building a business to getting out and being active when she could. You're a bright, shining light, Claudia.
Por amor de Dios, sí puedo.
Sí puedes.
Está lloviendo dentro, ¿no? Es lluvia.
A family that is a shining example of living with extreme gratitude and keeping on when absolutely everything is stacked against you.
That advice that I have for someone else is the same advice that my mother told me. Every instant counts. Every minute is important.
What do you think your mother would have to say about you right now?
Porque he seguido adelante, porque le sonrío a la vida como ella lo hacía, porque me pinto los labios como ella lo hacía.
It was an absolutely wonderful afternoon spent with Claudia and her family, even if some were a little camera shy.
Some people watching this will be thinking that we're just driving through a foggy area. Can you tell us what we're actually seeing?
The clouds. We're driving to the clouds.
Confident driving?
Until we can't see my hands, we're okay.
It was day 2, and I was about to meet one of my heroes. I just didn't know it yet.
You ready for this?
I am. Here we are in Pei Bai. Let's go say hi.
The definition of inspiration came in the form of a young girl named Francella. Born with no arms, Francella doesn't just find time to run and stay fit, but she's also raising a child. And she does so with love, with grace, and not a single complaint.
And Sarah, so this is the kid de verdad. ¿Sí? ¿Estás feliz?
Sí.
¿Emocionada?
No sé, las cosas.
These are the things I've done since I was little. I'm used to it now.
The people are always looking at me back. This is normal.
Francella, thank you for being the most inspirational, normal person I've ever met.
I'm beautiful and perfect.
I was genuinely blown away at how quick Francella was to laugh. She didn't view her story as tragic in any way.
I want to be a good example.
She told me this is all she's ever known, so how is this any different than you and your life? It was a simple story of working with what you're born with or without.
If someone thinks they can't, they won't be able to. If you think you can, you will.
I'm done with my excuses. I keep saying that, no more excuses, no more excuses. The only one stopping me from crossing that finish line or crossing that start line is me. How can we talk about our excuses after meeting these kind of people that are so inspiring? I don't get that.
All someone has to do is believe in themselves that they can do it.
Every single day here, it makes me want to take a very long look at the types of things that I'm complaining about. There's something to be said about those that don't spend their days complaining and then simply move forward and find joy in that process. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. You're a very inspirational young woman. Man, she is going to do some incredible things. Very inspirational young woman.
Hola, Francella. No, gracias a ti. It's hard to put into words how I feel exactly. Yeah, I really just want to give her a big hug and tell her thank you for being such an inspiration and a shining light. I love her for it. I absolutely love her for it.
This is the last day of shooting. How are you feeling?
I've been blown away. I've been truly blown away. I honestly did not anticipate what we found. I get it. Every single one of us is going to have setbacks and struggles. So how do we, like these extraordinary people we've met, push ahead with a smile? Far too often, while driving around this beautiful country, it occurred to me that we could always be more grateful. When we really take into consideration what we have, something clicks. It's a change of perspective that changes the outcome. It's absolutely no coincidence that every single inspirational person that we've met so far has faced their difficulties with gratitude. Their lives and their way of life and their outlook on life. It makes me wonder, you know, what am I doing wrong, right? Like, I complain because there's a traffic jam, and these people are battling real problems. We do this. We are masters at worrying about everything out of our control, rather than just going with the punches. This trip here in Costa Rica has been absolutely eye-opening in so many ways that I couldn't have imagined, really.
Somebody put, when the going gets tough, get grateful.
I want to go out and I want to be a better version of myself. That's what I want.
The rain had stopped and the sun was shining on downtown San Jose, Costa Rica. It was here in the midst of the hustling and bustling streets where we met Ivan. It was time to meet our last runner. Despite losing his leg, Ivan showed no signs of slowing down.
Your English is fantastic. You heard my Spanish, right? And how long did it take you to run 5 kilometers?
1 hour and a half minutes.
And today, how fast can you run a 5K?
10 kilometers. I run 10 kilometers and 1 hour 6 minutes. Very fast.
That's very fast.
He's running a 10K now, as fast as he used to run a 5K.
What happened? How did you lose your leg?
My answer is I don't know. When I entered to the hospital, they say I have a
You had a blood clot.
And the clot is going to the leg. It was a very fast because he said you have 10 minutes to cut the leg.
10 minutes.
10 minutes or you die.
They take your leg, or you possibly die. That's one hell of a decision.
When I lost my leg, I was depressed. 9 years.
For 9 years.
I don't want to speak, I don't want to eat.
9 years of depression, 7 of which he was basically bedridden. Ivan was completely convinced that his life would no longer have a purpose.
I only cry.
Until a friend proposed he go out for a run.
I have a friend. She run all time. He say, go to the room with me. Oh no, I don't want. All the people in the room say, oh my God, this is an example. This is an example. All the people, hi, Iman, give me a picture, yo. It's cool. This is cool.
When you see people that have depression or maybe they're in bed, they say, I can't do this. What do you say to them?
I say, if I can, you can too. I say, wake up. The lady is very beautiful. You don't worry. Do an exercise and the life is good. That you are so good. And just go around.
As Ivan delves into his background, this incredible story.
I only drink coffee and bed.
And now?
Now I eating everything I want.
You'd never guess who shows up on the scene.
Más rápido que porque.
O sea, usted tiene que ir con él, o sea, salir en la
It felt like we were interviewing a celebrity because every few minutes we were stopped by a stranger that knew him.
Sí. Where's your place? I said, where there's girls, right? He's, yeah.
Now, this amazing ripple effect happens. As we're talking about Mario and Ivan, it's not long before we meet even more runners. And before you know it, we're having a roundtable discussion on a park bench in the middle of San Jose.
What's the biggest thing that you get out of running?
One thing that I really like about it is that it's easy.
Lucho, doy lo mejor de mí para alcanzar mis metas y concretarlas en éxitos.
I run because I love to eat. Is there any better reason to run?
Running sometimes is my only opportunity to feel better.
When I wake up and I feel lazy,
That's when you need to actually go out and do something.
and I feel very good.
This is my way to live my life.
Pura vida.
Pura vida.
What is the biggest goal that you're shooting for right now?
Mi meta más grande es seguir haciendo deporte como el Maratón de Nueva York, París.
Go to the run on the New York Marathon. I made the first man in crutches.
So I hope to run in some a marathon, maybe Paris.
Yeah.
I put on some weight during the pandemic.
Uh-huh.
How many kilometers did you run the first year of the pandemic?
In the first years in the pandemic, I ran 2,600 kilometers.
I think that's about 1,000 times more than I ran.
Adversity is a tough thing to measure. We can never really know what someone has gone through, and that's even if they choose to share it.
I can't fight this feeling any longer, and yet I'm still afraid to let it flow.
The truth is, there are obstacles, uncertainties, and trauma completely out of our control. But what we do control, however, is how we face it.
And I can't fight this feeling anymore.
I absolutely love what we're doing here. I love the people that we're meeting, and I can't wait for you to see where we're going next.
Never give up.
I see people like you guys. It's inspiring to me.
Saying go, 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 go.
I am more powerful running because of you.
Every instant counts.
Yes, do it.
Every minute is important.
The more people I meet like this, the more stories we discover together. The harder it is to believe that we're powerless, that we're limited. I thank these people, and the many more to come, for showing us exactly where greatness comes from, beyond limits.